Doors to manual and out he pops. Showtime for Boris Johnson on the biggest stage of his life so far, the one he's always dreamt of. He was virtually galloping down the stairs, clearly loving every minute of his new job. One thing you can't fault him on is his enthusiasm and good cheer. He sounds like a man in a hurry to make an impression with what he calls his obsessions.
Clearly the state of global trade, I'm very worried about the way it's going, the growth of protectionism, of tariffs that we're seeing. The UK thrives mightily on being an open, outward-looking, free trading nation. That's what we're going to be promoting because I think it's good for the world as well. Number two, biodiversity, habitat loss, the excruciating scenes that we've seen from the Amazon.
Off to a bilateral meeting with the younger but by now far more seasoned Justin Trudeau of Canada, making sure that no one at home got the wrong idea about this summit.
I think people around the world will be looking at this and thinking, we're having a wonderful boondoggle here in some posh hotel in Biarritz. We're going to be working flat out, aren't we, Justin? On issues that will make a material difference, we hope, to the quality of lives of everybody in our countries and around the world.
Justin looked fairly horrified at the thought of all that toil. If Boris Johnson is brimming with enthusiasm, his stage isn't. This is Biarritz at the height of summer. Nothing empties a top resort like a shark attack or a G7 summit. The echoing police hooves, more high noon than glitzy resort, a reminder of the realities that could collide with the Prime Minister's verve and vigour. First up, Europe. Donald Tusk, the embodiment of the EU at this summit, was channeling his inner doom merchant when he warned about a no deal Brexit.
The one thing I will not cooperate on is no deal. And I still hope that Prime Minister Johnson will not like to go down in history as Mr. No Deal.
Next, the man who's never liked international summits because he thinks they're an opportunity for others to gang up against him. His isolation will become Boris Johnson's problem. More on that later. President Trump settled down for a lonely tête-à-tête lunch with his mercurial friend and host, Emmanuel Macron. So what exactly is the status of their relationship?
We've been friends for a long time, and every once in a while we go at it just a little bit, not very much, but we get along very well. We have a very good relationship, sort of, I think I can say a special relationship.
Yes, that word special doesn't just belong to the UK. Get used to it. Unforeseen events often derail and define G7 summits, and this year is no different. The Amazon fires choking the lungs of the earth may have given the French hosts a clarion call for action. Put out the fires, reboot the climate change agenda, remember the Paris Accords. This leaves Donald Trump, climate change denier-in-chief and friend of the fellow populist running Brazil, isolated. And it leaves Boris Johnson with a problem. Whose side is he on? Here he was sitting down with EU leaders, presumably to thrash out how to avoid a no-deal Brexit that'll hurt everyone around the table, but perhaps no one as much as Britain. He may disagree with them on that, but he sees eye to eye on Iran, climate change and avoiding a trade war with China, where Donald Trump is isolated. Boris Johnson's dilemma is that he may have to choose between Trump and the rest. He will hope that his bonhomie will provide the secret source of diplomacy, but he may end up feeling as deserted as the beach at Biarritz.